Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
Two shooting suspects are dead after they allegedly opened fire inside a social services building in California. Tonight, 14 people killed, 18 injured.
Thanks for joining us tonight. The names of the man and woman connected to the mass shooting have not been released yet. Police also arrested and identified a third suspect as Saeed Farouk. Now, the LA Times is reporting that Farouk was employed by the San Bernardino County Health Department as an environmental health specialist, but it was not clear if that was the same person involved in the shooting. Danielle Nottingham reports from San Bernardino.
Police say two suspects, a man and a woman, were killed in a violent gun battle with officers less than 2 miles from where they allegedly massacred 14 people in San Bernardino. As part of the investigation, police were watching a residence and then spotted the suspect's vehicle.
They were dressed in kind of assault-style clothing.
Hours earlier, gunfire had erupted inside the Inland Regional Center, 60 miles east of Los Angeles. Police say the suspects walked into the social services building Wednesday morning, where a holiday luncheon was underway.
They came prepared to do what they did, as if they were on a mission.
Workers locked themselves in offices and sent texts. Others called loved ones.
I told them to just hunker down, make sure their cell phones were off, keep the noise, don't make noise.
Emergency workers turned an intersection into a triage area to treat the injured.
I called her, she texted me and she said she was cold and she told me she was shot in her side.
This is the 7th mass shooting in the United States within the past 5 months. The mass shooting forced President Obama to once again call on Congress to address gun control.
We should come together in a bipartisan basis at every level of government to make these rare as opposed to normal.
Police are still working to clear the social services building where at least one explosive device was found. Authorities say there were multiple scenes they had to check for explosives. The motive in the shooting is still unclear. In San Bernardino, California, Danielle Nottingham, now back to you.
Now, one officer was shot when police got into a gunfight with the suspects, but is expected to recover.
Several U.S. senators, including Minnesota's Amy Klobuchar, are targeting the visa waiver program, saying parts of it are too weak and need to be strengthened to prevent terrorists from entering the U.S. Citizens from 38 countries are allowed to visit the U.S. without getting a standard visa or a visa waiver. Senator Klobuchar says this legislation would require people who have traveled to Syria or Iraq to get visas to enter the U.S. with fingerprinting, in-person interviews, and photos.
This particular bill is not a taxpayer dollar bill. It's paid by foreign visitors, well-meaning people who want to, vacation in our country, but for that extra security, they'll pay a little more on their visa.
Another piece of legislation is a 5-year, roughly $300 billion transportation bill that would inject money into the nation's deteriorated highways and other infrastructure. Lawmakers say the agreement would provide long-term certainty for states and local governments. The bill is over 2,000 pages long.
I have a full-time staff person who also is an expert on the bill. So together we will ferret through the bill and see what's good and bad. I'm sure I won't agree with everything in the bill, but for me, I've been working for years since that bridge collapsed in Minnesota to get a long-term highway bill, not just a year-to-year red light, green light. This is a 5-year highway bill, and that's very important.
The senator says this will allocate more than $100 million for Minnesota highways, railroads, and bridges.
A man is behind bars after allegedly raping a female employee at Gordy's Travel Plaza in Mapleton, North Dakota. Abdulrahman Ali was arrested on 4 felonies, including terrorizing and sexual assault, after sheriff's deputies had to kick in a locked bathroom door where the woman and suspect were. The sheriff's department says customers at the gas station called 911 after hearing pleas for help just before 6 this morning. The woman was taken to a Fargo hospital to be treated for her injuries.
There's a difference of opinion between NDSU and former U.S. Senator Byron Dorgan. While one claims the school's Center for Nanoscale Science and Engineering is closed, the other says that's not the case. Valley News Team's Cornelius Hocker tries to sort it out.
Closing the Center for Nanoscale Science and Engineering, they say, was an evolution. It's not an evolution. Clearly, it's something that is a mistake and lost opportunity for North Dakota State University.
Cincy is not technically closed, so I'm not quite sure what your question is. I don't believe that Vice President Rush said that it was closed. She said that funding had gone away, that funding had decreased, but the core activities are still being funded by NDSU.
Provost Beth Ingram says those core functions include the clean room, all of the equipment, researchers, and still using it for classes. She says losing government funding back in 2010 is why they started laying off employees, ultimately shifting the employees left to different positions within the university. NDSU received almost $10 million in state grant funding for Cincy. Ingram says researchers are funded by soft money, which means most of their salaries are funded from research grants, which have to be won to keep that position afloat. However, Senator Dorgan isn't convinced losing government funding is a good enough reason to explain going from more than 120 employees in 2009 to 30 in 2015.
Apparently, there are people there who felt this was not an important part of North Dakota State University and, decided that this was not something that they were going to continue.
I'm not saying that I disagree with what Senator Dorgan said. What I'm saying is that I inherited, when I came here, a very successful research enterprise due to a lot of the funding that came into NDSU due to earmarks.
Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
We did talk to one of the researchers who works at the tech park who told us that he has a job until the end of the school year, but isn't sure about any of his colleagues.
Holiday lights look great, but involve some work getting all of those up. But that might not be the only challenge with the festive decorations. An expert says trees, wreaths, and all those light-up Santas you have could be killing your Wi-Fi. They say the wiring in the lights add radio frequency interference in your home, tripping up your router.
It depends on how many lights you have and how close your router is to your tree. If you have a lot of external lights in your home, you're going to notice that you're going to see some interference there. Also, your neighbors. If your neighbors have a lot of lights.
Also, don't have your lights or tree plugged into the same outlet as your router. And if you think you might have a problem with interference, just try using your internet without the lights.
Gas prices continue to fall in the FM metro area. The lowest we found today is at $1.80 a gallon. Don's Car Wash on 13th Avenue South is sporting a pump price that's a full dime below the average price in Fargo, which is $1.90. A month ago, we had to pay an average of $2.16 a gallon, and a year ago at this time, we were paying $2.70 a gallon.
Remember to like Valley News Live on Facebook for stories like this and many more. You can follow all the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live. Like our page and you'll stay informed throughout the entire day.